Órale, Cholo Trucker, más movies and shows, and here we got Oppenheimer. Now, this is a movie that was highly recommended by numerous of people. Shout outs to Pastor Zamora. He kept on telling me about it, and I knew I was gonna watch it. It just didn't strike me interesting enough to go to the movie theater. I'm like, you know what? I am interested in this movie. I definitely want to watch it, but I'm not gonna go to the theater to watch it. So I went ahead and I watched it on Peacock. You can find it on a couple of other streaming apps, but I went ahead and I watched it on Peacock. And let me go ahead and tell you guys this, okay? Um, I enjoyed this movie until I didn't really enjoy the movie. Now I'll get to what I mean in just a second. So this movie right here, it's got quite the cast. I mean, the main guy is this dude right here. Shoot, I don't really know his name. I know I've seen him in a couple of other things. He's kind of a scary, weird looking guy, skinny, tall, long limbs, but he does pretty good in the playing Oppenheimer because that's who it is, right? It's about this guy. um by the way, you guys can see the real story. I went ahead and read up a little bit about the real story of this guy. I'm like, oh, okay, interesting. But not only him, but he's got Matt Damon. It's got Robert Downey Jr., who I thought did a great job in this movie. And by the way, Robert Downey Jr., man, he's getting up there. He's getting close to like 60 years old or something like that. But I thought he did a great job. Josh Hartnett's in this movie. So I this movie obviously takes place back in the 40s when they're looking to build the first atomic bomb, and the science behind it. We're in World War II. You got Hitler, Germany, Japan, and then the Germans no longer are a threat. Well, yeah, what about Japan? There's a lot of back and forth and all that. Should we continue going building this bomb? And it's like, well, the Japanese are not gonna, they're not gonna surrender. I don't want to get through the whole history of World War II, but nonetheless, it is interesting on seeing on how this came to be. Now, I get it, it's a movie. Is it really true story all the way through and through? Probably not. Probably not. I'm sure there's some embellishment here and there. It's got to be, man. It's a movie. I like that Albert Einstein is in this movie as well. And the guy that they picked to play Albert Einstein just, I mean, looks like Albert Einstein. So, um, there was quite a few people that were on this project that were like, you know what? Eventually, at some point, they're like, I don't know if we should really be doing this. We could destroy the world by doing this, right? It's like we're in World War II, yes, but we're coming to an end, or it looks like the war is somewhat coming to an end to a certain extent. Should we really be, continuing making this bomb, building this bomb? I mean, a lot of the war is starting to calm down now, except for the Japanese, and then the Russians. I mean, this movie, let me go ahead and tell you guys this. You really, really, really need to pay attention to this movie. I watched this movie alone in my room. It is a long movie. I think it's like 2 hours and 40 minutes. You really need to pay attention. You cannot get bored. You cannot get sidetracked because this movie jumps back and forth with time. What do I mean by that? I mean, there is black and white scenes that's supposed to be taking place at a certain time, and then it'll go back to when they're building the bomb or getting the team together to build the bomb, and then it'll go to another scene where he's on trial with no witnesses around. So it keeps jumping back and forth. It doesn't all take place, all one story being told leading up to what happened after the bomb. Okay, it's all taking place at the same time, the future and the past. but it makes for a very interesting movie because it kept me, at least, it kept me thinking, okay, so then what went wrong? What's going on? What went wrong? And I had to rewind it a few times to make sure I caught everything. And that's what I'm going to tell you guys, man. You guys really, truly need to invest into this movie to really appreciate what it is. You cannot miss a word. And then his affair that he's got going on and his relationship with his wife and that kind of stuff, man. So it's a long movie. So like I said in the beginning, I enjoyed it until I didn't enjoy it anymore. Here's the thing, right? Like I said, I watched it by myself and I started talking to my beautiful, crazy local wife about it. And she's all, how'd you like it? And I'm like, well, I enjoyed it, but it didn't need to be over 2 hours. 2 hours would have been fine for me. The story could have ended, for me at least, or they could have just kind of, I don't want to say skip through, but they could have pushed fast forward on a couple of things. I started losing a little bit of interest once the bomb was built, once the bomb, was detonated and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, but there's still about a good, I don't know, maybe 40, 45 minutes, I'm not sure, left in the movie. And it's, putting everybody, I just, it ran a little bit too long. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm still invested in the movie, but the big buildup, for me at least, is kind of gone. And I am a little interested to see, what the whole controversy is afterwards, but it wasn't as interesting as the bomb itself. So I enjoyed the movie. And then I think it took a little bit of a step back. Not to say that it's a bad movie or that none of the parts aren't interesting afterwards, because it is. It's just the whole buildup to the bomb is the main interest, at least for me, it was. So overall, look, I enjoyed the movie. I liked it. Would I watch it again? Probably not. It's a long movie. To me, it's kind of a one and done. I will definitely recommend the movie. But yeah, to me, it's just a one and done. If I'm with somebody and they're like, "Hey, I haven't watched this movie before, man. We want to sit down and watch it," I'll be like, "Nah, I'm good, man. Go ahead and watch it." Because I do recommend it, but I don't want to sit through the whole thing and watch it again. But look, it's a good movie. So if you haven't seen it, make time to watch it. And I'm going to say this: make sure you don't have distractions. Okay, if you're sitting down and you're gonna watch it with your family or watch it with a lot of people, there's a little bit of nudity in it, which movies don't really have anymore. But if you're gonna go ahead and watch it, I would say watch it with by yourself or with one other person. But make it clear that it's like, look, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna watch this movie. All right. We're not going to be on our phones. We're not going to be having conversations about anything else, because you really, really, truly need to pay attention to every word just to capture everything that's going on in the story because it's a good story. So I definitely recommend Oppenheimer. Cholo Trucker, M.A.S. Movies and Shows. I'll catch you guys on next one.